Imagine signing a world-class player, announcing the deal to millions of fans, celebrating a new era for your club. But behind that transfer, millions of pounds are quietly paid off the books. That is the allegation now at the center of a major financial scandal involving Chelsea FC, one of the biggest football clubs in the world. According to findings by the Premier League, the club has been hit with a massive financial penalty after investigators uncovered a series of undisclosed payments linked to transfers between 2011 and 2018. These were not small administrative errors. Authorities say the payments involved players, agents, and third-party entities, and, crucially, they were never properly reported. In modern football, financial transparency is everything. Every transfer must be documented. Every payment must be declared, because hidden financial deals can distort competition, inflate transfer values, and give clubs an unfair advantage. So when investigators discovered that certain payments had been concealed, it raised a serious question. What exactly was being hidden, and why? The violations date back to the era when the club was owned by Roman Abramovich, a period defined by massive spending and high-profile signings. During those years, Chelsea FC became one of the most dominant forces in European football. But now investigators believe that behind some of those deals, there may have been financial arrangements that were never meant to be seen. According to the ruling, the club has been fined £10.75 million. But the financial penalty is only part of the story. More significantly, the club has been given a suspended transfer ban, meaning that if further violations occur, Chelsea could be blocked from signing players in the future. And for a club that relies heavily on transfers to compete at the highest level, that threat is enormous. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. The current ownership of Chelsea FC, which took over after Abramovich's departure, reportedly discovered the irregularities themselves. And instead of hiding them, they reported them to the authorities. That decision may have reduced the severity of the punishment, but it also confirmed something much bigger. Because if the club had to report its own past, then the scale of what was uncovered may have been impossible to ignore. Now, the investigation has left a shadow hanging over one of football's most successful modern eras. Fans are asking questions. Analysts are re-examining past transfers. And the football world is wondering just how deep the undisclosed payments really went. Because this isn't just about one fine. It's about something far more unsettling. What if some of football's biggest deals were never as clean as they seemed? When financial scandals hit football, the consequences rarely stay contained within one club. They ripple outward, affecting leagues, regulators, and even the credibility of the sport itself. And in the case of Chelsea FC, the impact was immediate. The decision by the Premier League to impose a £10.75 million fine and a suspended transfer ban sent a clear message. Financial transparency is not optional. It is enforced. But beyond the punishment itself, the real shock came from what the ruling revealed. Because this wasn't a case of one isolated mistake. Investigators concluded that multiple undisclosed payments had taken place over several years, involving different parties connected to transfers. That raised a bigger concern. If such practices could happen at a club as high-profile as Chelsea, what might be happening elsewhere? For the Premier League, this wasn't just about enforcing rules. It was about protecting the integrity of the competition. Modern football operates on strict financial regulations designed to ensure fairness between clubs. Every deal must be recorded. Every payment must be transparent. Because once hidden money enters the system, competitive balance can be distorted. Clubs with access to undisclosed funds can gain advantages that others simply cannot match. And that's why this case quickly became more than just a Chelsea issue. It became a warning to the entire football ecosystem. Behind closed doors, executives at other clubs were paying close attention. Because the investigation showed that historic financial activity is no longer beyond scrutiny. Even transactions from years ago can be reopened, examined, and punished. That reality changes everything. It means clubs are now accountable not just for present actions, but for decisions made under previous ownership. For Chelsea FC, that creates a unique situation. The current ownership group inherited a past they didn't create, yet they are still responsible for addressing its consequences. And while their decision to self-report the irregularities may have reduced the severity of the punishment, it also exposed the full extent of the issue. Meanwhile, the threat of a suspended transfer ban looms over the club's future. For now, Chelsea can continue operating in the transfer market, but any further breach could trigger a ban that would restrict their ability to sign players. In modern football, that's not just a penalty, it's a competitive handicap. Squads evolve constantly, injuries happen, contracts expire. Without the ability to recruit new talent, even the strongest teams can decline rapidly. And that's why this ruling has created pressure not just internally, but externally as well. Fans are questioning past success. Rivals are questioning fairness. And regulators are signaling that enforcement is only getting stricter. Because if financial rules are not consistently applied, then the entire structure of modern football begins to weaken. And now, one question is quietly circulating across the sport. Is Chelsea the exception, or just the first case to be exposed? To understand how a club like Chelsea FC ended up facing one of the most significant financial penalties in recent football history, you have to go back to where the investigation truly began. Not with a whistleblower, not with a sudden audit, but with a change in ownership. When the Roman Abramovich era came to an end, new leadership took control of the club, bringing with it a fresh review of past operations. And during that internal review, something unexpected surfaced. Financial records that didn't fully align with what had been officially declared. At first, the irregularities may have seemed minor, but as investigators dug deeper, patterns began to emerge. Payments linked to transfers that had not been properly disclosed, third-party transactions that were not recorded in official filings, and agreements that appeared to exist outside the standard reporting structure required by the Premier League. That's when the situation shifted from internal concern to formal investigation. To their credit, the new ownership of Chelsea FC chose to self-report the findings. That decision triggered a full-scale probe by league authorities. Because once a club admits that financial records may be incomplete, every detail must be examined. Investigators began reconstructing years of transfer activity between 2011 and 2018, a period when Chelsea completed multiple high-profile deals. Their goal was simple: determine whether all payments connected to those transfers had been properly declared. What they found raised serious concerns. According to the findings, certain payments involving players, agents, and third parties were not fully disclosed to the league. In football's regulatory system, that is a major violation, because undisclosed payments can conceal the true cost of a transfer. They can mask relationships between parties, and they can potentially be used to bypass financial regulations. But proving these violations required more than suspicion. Investigators needed documentation, contracts, financial records, payment trails, and piece by piece, they built a picture of transactions that existed outside official reporting channels. For the Premier League, the evidence was sufficient to conclude that breaches had occurred, and that conclusion led directly to the sanctions imposed on the club. However, one factor played a critical role in shaping the final outcome: cooperation. Because Chelsea FC didn't deny the findings, they didn't obstruct the investigation. Instead, they worked with authorities to clarify what had happened. That cooperation likely prevented even harsher penalties. But it also confirmed something important. The undisclosed payments were real, the reporting failures were significant, and the violations were serious enough to warrant punishment. Now, with the investigation complete, the focus shifts to what comes next. Because uncovering the past is only part of the story. The real question is how the club and the sport responds moving forward, and whether this case will lead to stricter enforcement across football, or expose even more hidden deals waiting to be discovered. When the verdict finally arrived, it didn't come with drama, no courtroom spectacle, no last-minute revelations, just a clear, decisive ruling from the Premier League. a £10.75 million fine, and a suspended transfer ban hanging over Chelsea FC like a warning shot. On paper, it might not look devastating. For a club of Chelsea's financial scale, the fine is manageable. But the real weight of the punishment isn't measured in pounds. It's measured in reputation, trust, and uncertainty. Because for the first time in years, Chelsea isn't just being judged by results on the pitch. It's being judged by what happened behind the scenes. And that changes everything. Fans who once celebrated trophies are now asking uncomfortable questions. Were past successes completely clean? Were all deals conducted fairly? Or was there more happening beneath the surface? Even if the violations were administrative rather than competitive, perception matters. In modern football, image is everything. And right now, Chelsea's image has taken a hit. Inside the club, the pressure is even more intense. Because this isn't just about closing a chapter. It's about preventing the next one. The suspended transfer ban is the clearest sign of that. It's not active yet, but it's there waiting. A single future breach could activate it instantly. And if that happens, the consequences would be severe. No new signings, no squad reinforcements, no ability to respond to injuries or declining form. In a league as competitive as the Premier League, that kind of restriction can derail an entire season, maybe more. That's why the ruling doesn't feel like an ending. It feels like a line drawn in the sand, a moment where the league is saying, "This is your warning." At the same time, the decision sends a powerful message beyond Stamford Bridge. Because if a club as globally recognized as Chelsea FC can be investigated, charged, and punished, then no club is untouchable. And that realization is already shifting behavior across football. Executives are reviewing past deals. Legal teams are rechecking compliance records. Because the era of assuming old transactions are safe from scrutiny is over. For Chelsea, the immediate damage is contained. They can still compete. They can still sign players. They can still fight for titles. But the margin for error is gone. Every future decision will be watched more closely. Every financial move will be examined more carefully. And every misstep could trigger consequences far worse than what we've seen so far. Because this case didn't just expose past mistakes. It created a new reality. One where accountability isn't optional. And where the next violation won't come with a warning. It will come with consequences. In football, scandals come and go. A headline today, forgotten tomorrow. But some cases leave a deeper impact, not because of the punishment, but because of what they reveal about the system itself. And the case involving Chelsea FC is one of those moments. Because at its core, this wasn't just about a fine. It was about how money moves in modern football. The investigation by the Premier League exposed something that fans rarely see. Not the goals, not the trophies, but the complex financial networks that operate behind every transfer. Agents, third parties, undisclosed agreements, and payments that, in this case, were never fully reported. For years, these transactions remained hidden, buried in paperwork, lost in time, until a change in ownership forced the past into the open. And when it did, the consequences followed. A financial penalty, a suspended transfer ban, and a lasting question mark over part of the club's history. But perhaps the most important outcome of this case isn't what happened to Chelsea. It's what happens next. Because the message sent by the Premier League is clear. Transparency is no longer negotiable, and past actions are no longer protected by time. That has implications far beyond one club. Across Europe, teams are now facing a new reality. Every transfer, every payment, every agreement could be reviewed, reopened, re-examined, and if irregularities are found, punished, no matter how long ago they occurred. For governing bodies, this is a turning point, a chance to reinforce credibility, to show that rules apply equally, regardless of status, success, or financial power. But for fans, the impact is more complicated, because football is built on belief. Belief in fair competition, belief in merit, belief that what happens on the pitch reflects what's earned. Cases like this challenge that belief. They introduce doubt, they force questions, and they remind everyone that the game isn't just played on grass. It's also played in boardrooms, contracts, and financial systems. For Chelsea FC, the path forward is clear. Operate within the rules. Avoid further breaches. Rebuild trust. Because the suspended transfer ban remains a constant reminder of what's at stake. One mistake, and the consequences escalate instantly. But beyond Chelsea, the bigger story continues. Because if this investigation uncovered undisclosed payments at one of football's biggest clubs, what else might still be hidden? And how many stories like this have yet to surface? That uncertainty is what makes this case more than just a scandal. It makes it a signal, a warning that the era of hidden deals is being challenged, and that in modern football, the truth has a way of catching up, no matter how long it takes.